Hello, 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 and welcome to Always Kiss Me Goodnight. I am Jacqueline Andrade, your marriage, sex, and relationship guru, and it has been a minute. I thank you guys so very much for hanging in there with me. And while I have been away, I thank you guys so much for just hopping on and hearing what we're going to talk about. It has been a crazy, crazy, crazy couple of weeks. And so tonight, hey Neosha, thank you for joining. Tonight, dang y'all, this hair. Hope you guys had an amazing couple of weeks. It's actually been a week and a half. And I just have to say, life has just been happening so quickly. And just in all transparency, I have gone through a little bit of a, for lack of a better word, pseudo little tiny depression about everything that is happening. I got some not so good financial news a couple of weeks ago, and my son making his college decision, his college choice. One of the platforms that I was going to speak on, something happened to the hotel, and at the last minute they had to cancel the conference. My other son got hurt and has been, he actually tore his patella, so we were back and forth at the doctors with that. So it has just been a crazy, I care for my mom who is battling with sarcoidosis, and it has just been crazy, guys. It has just been, hey, Sister Hamilton. Thank you so very much, you guys. So it has just been crazy. I'm continuing to do this weight loss journey, almost 42 pounds down over the past 2 weeks. So I've totally lost it, literally eating crazy. And so I'm really trying to get back into the swing of things. Hey, Ramona, thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys could please share this video. I'm going to do my very best to keep this brief, but I wanted to give you kind of just what's been going on in my heart and what some of my real struggles are. And I really thought I was going to talk about one thing, and God always does this to me quite often. I think I'm going to talk about one thing, and then he shifts me into something a little bit differently. So I just have to be kind of open to whatever he wants me to do. And I hope you guys will just go with this, and just please forgive me, but it has been an emotional journey. So for those who don't know me, I am Jacqueline Andrade, your marriage, sex, and relationship guru. And I have the awesome privilege and opportunity, and I want to say calling, to be able to teach women how to have amazing sex. And I kind of replay that in my head sometimes, and I think, like, what does that mean? What does that mean for women? So here's what I want, and I hope that it reflects to you when I talk about this. I have been married for 21 years. Well, it'll be 21 years next month. And all of those years, oh, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And all of those years have not been easy, good, fun years. If I were to tell you that, I would be completely lying. We have had our share of ups and downs and hardships and disappointments and letdowns and hurt and setbacks and confusion, but coagulated in those 21 years have been some really, really amazing, fun, heartfelt, loving moments that you can never get back. And so as life is changing for me, and I'm not even quite sure which direction it's going, this year I will celebrate my 48th, Lord willing, 48th birthday. And tomorrow my husband is going to celebrate his 49th birthday. And so just in the spirit of reflection of what has transpired over these past couple of weeks for me, and in our home, birthdays are a big deal. And we try to make sure, oh, thanks, Neosha. We try to make sure that, we celebrate them accordingly. But this year, as I think about my husband turning 49, I just began to think about how grateful I am, one, to have a husband that loves me unconditionally. When I say unconditionally, y'all, this man has seen some things. You can only imagine what it feels like to be married to a woman who is like me, meaning um, I'm all over the place. I'm never just doing one task at a time. I'm never just focused in on one thing. I just am not wired that way. Where my husband is completely the opposite. He can focus in, hone in, and do that one thing completely well. Where I have my hands in like a million things at once. And I often say, jack of all trades, master of none. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just who I am. And so I'm grateful that he loves me unconditionally. Now, with that being said, that was not always the case. We have had our share of struggles. We have had our share of just like raw knockdown, drag out, not physical, but of course verbally abusing each other. Meaning we would say some not so nice things to each other. We would respond to each other in not so nice ways, and we were not very nice to each other. And so, but over the years, we've made it. And the only reason I can say that we've made it, and I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. I mean, he could come home tomorrow and be like, listen, girl, I'm over you. I'm done with it. I want somebody younger. I want a younger model. I don't know. He very well could. But what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, and this doesn't matter whether you're married or single, but in particularly if you're married, what are you living for? And so as I begin to reflect on the things, I mean, we're in the 4th month of the year already. And this year I said I wanted to lose 50 pounds. So I am about 8 pounds away from meeting my target goal. But I'm here to tell you that did not come simply by me wishing. I spent about 16 years, probably more like 15 years, wishing that weight loss would happen, wishing that I would wake up skinnier, wishing that I would be healthier, wishing that I didn't have to take blood pressure medicine, wishing that I could, wear whatever size jeans, a size 10 to be quite honest. And by the way, I'm in there. I'm in them. Yay. But wishing. But it wasn't until I put a plan in action and decided this year, 2018, was going to be my year for loss. And how many of us know loss is not always a bad thing? In my case, weight loss was a good thing. So if anybody can relate to that, just send me a heart. Weight loss for me was a good thing. But there were some things that happened in these past 4 months that were not a good thing. I lost them, but they were not a good thing. Okay? So in your relationships and in your marriage, the question of the night is, what are you living for? Are you living for weight loss? Are you living for a bigger house? Are you living for a better job? Are you living for a better, I don't know, a better whatever? A better, I don't know. What are you living for? So on this eve, before my husband turns 49, I just want to talk to you just about how important it is to live every day like it is your last day. There have been several people that passed away in these past 4 months. There have been people who have been diagnosed with sickness and illness and disease, and their tomorrow will be very different than their yesterday was. And I don't want this to be a somber thing, but I am kind of struggling with change that is going on in my life. And people see the weight loss change in you before you see it in yourself. So for people to say, oh, you've lost so much weight. Oh, when I look in the mirror, I don't see that I've lost so much weight because it has not registered in my head yet. I don't know. I still see myself as 50 pounds overweight. So in order to change, you have to change everything around you. But it starts with little changes. So my first change started when I said in December that 2018 is going to be the year that I lose 50 pounds. Now, I had said that before. I had said that hundreds of times before. I had said, oh, Monday's going to be the day I start. Oh, Monday I'm going to start it. Oh, I'm going to start that on Monday. I don't know how many Mondays, countless Mondays have come and gone, and it didn't happen. So in order for me to be better for myself, better for my family, better for the business that I'm running, better for the clients that I serve, better for the future business and the future clients and the future grandkids, better, I had to do stuff better for myself. And it just started with one decision. So it was my decision that I was going to find something that worked for me, that I was going to stick to the plan, and that I was going to follow it through until completion. Now, how many of you know that in these I started January 8th, January, April, May, 4 months. It has been crazy, okay? It has been absolutely crazy. There has been times that I have gone to bed hungry, angry, mad, frustrated, disappointed, and all of the above. But then I remind myself, why am I doing this? I mean, you could easily go back to eating bad and making bad food choices and, just making excuses for why it's not going to work. Because in the beginning, it was slow. Like it didn't, you're right, Neosha, it is not easy. And for you guys that are on here, if you have not, hey, Mary Carol, thank you so very much for hopping on and joining. If you guys could share this video. So on the eve before my husband's birthday, I asked him actually, what are you living for? Realistically, if he gets another 50 years, well, 40, 51 years, what are you living for? What are you living to do, to be, to accomplish? What are your plans? What are your goals? And I have had tremendous amount of loss that, like I said, financially, we have just took a tremendous setback, but I just believe that God is a God of multiplication. And even though we have taken a setback financially, what looks like to be a setback, I know that God is going to multiply it and take what we tithe and multiply it. So I'm not so much worried about that. In the beginning, it was like a ton of bricks, like a whole house had just fell on me, for real. Like I was like, what the? How are we going to do this? How are we going to make this work? But then I centered myself and I regrouped, and I understand that Christ is always going to be the center of who I am. And so I began to think, how can I take this particular setback and turn it into a teaching opportunity for those that I talk to? So in your relationships, in spite of what goes on, there's 3 things that you have to make sure that you do. Number 1, you have to make a plan. And let me go back to that. Number 1, you have to identify and embrace what is going on with you. Number 1, embrace it. If your marriage is falling the hell apart, deal with it, embrace it, be honest about it. Like, don't continue to pretend like nothing is wrong in the marriage. The only way that you're going to be able to get free from your marriage being destroyed and falling apart is if you recognize that it is falling apart, like, that the bottom has fallen out and there is nothing left. Like, you have to be honest with yourself. If you are single and you are ready to be in a relationship, well, it is high time for you to look at yourself and say, what is it that I'm doing or not doing, why I'm not attracting the person that I want to be with? Because he or she is out there waiting for you, but you have not put out the energy to find him or her. So what have you done in order to make sure you're getting what you want out of this life? You only get one opportunity to live this life. Once you're gone, that's it. There's no coming back. Y'all know that, right? We're not playing a video game where you get a second and third opportunity to come back. So every day that you live, you're writing a story in your own book. And so on January 8th, when I decided my weight loss goal and my weight loss journey, I changed how I wanted to write the chapter in my book. And I will forever change that chapter. Now, years prior to that, 15 years prior to that, I was writing the same story over and over. It was like almost like a punishment when you get in trouble at school and a teacher says, write, I will not talk 100 times on the board. Well, I was writing the same thing in this particular chapter of my life. I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. I choose not to lose weight. I choose not to lose weight. But it wasn't until I recognized that I am the author. I'm the one who holds the pen. I'm the one who's able to write how this story ends by the choices that I make. So the number one thing that you have to do in order to make sure that you are living the life that you want is you have to identify where it's falling apart at. Look it in the eye, address it, and deal with it. The financial piece, I kind of knew something was off. I think I did. I don't know. But anyway, if I'm honest, I knew something was off, but I did not want to look at it. And had I taken the opportunity and the courage to look at the thing that was difficult, I may not be in the boat, and I say I, but we may not be in the boat that we're in right now. But here's the thing that I know about me and my husband. We are fighters, we are survivors, and we always win. So number two, you want to identify a plan. You can't just see that there's a problem in the relationship and then decide, all right, there's a problem. I'm not going to do anything about it. Doing nothing about it is never going to solve the problem. You have to identify what it is. You have to spend quiet time with yourself. Even if you're in a relationship, you have to love yourself enough to spend quiet time, quality time with yourself. You got to live with you every day. You separate from your spouse throughout the day for hours at a time. You're with you 24/7. Every day, every second of the day, you are with you. And if you don't like what you're seeing in you, it is time to change it. It is time for you to take a good hard look at what you don't like about yourself, embrace it, and fix it. I can remember doing this very thing back in December saying, oh my gosh, I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the way this feels. I don't like how these look on me. And then I was like, well, if I don't like it, what am I going to do to change it? And it was my son who said, Mom, you have everything you need in order to change it. You just choose not to. And I was like, what you mean I choose not to? I don't really choose not to. Yeah, I really did choose not to. And once I recognized that, you know what, it is me. This is not what I signed up to be. This is not what I want to be. I'm not happy with this person. I set a plan in place, did some research, and found a spot that worked for me. Now, whatever works for you, you got to work it. You have to identify and figure out what it is in your life that you want to live for, first of all, because I want to live and be old, and I don't want to be feeble. I want to be older in age, okay? I want to live to be 120 with my eyes perfect, my speech, my health, my mind. I want all of that. So I want to be here for my grands and my great-grands, and I want to enjoy life on the boat and just travel and just enjoy life. And I want to be able to teach women how to have amazing sex. But I didn't finish that. So let me finish saying that too. And I'm sorry, I'm all over the place because it's so much I want to talk about tonight. But I'm trying to keep it on point. All right. So the number one thing you have to do is identify what the problem is in your relationship, whether it's you, him, whatever it is that is going wrong with it, identify it, deal with it, and call it wrong. Okay? Number two, you have to come up with the plan. What is the plan of action that you are going to do in order to fix it? All right? So you have to identify that there's a problem. You have to identify what is it that you're living for, who are you living for, what are you living for? And if you're living for, I don't know, a bigger house, you're not living. If you're living for a better job, is that really living? Because guess what? All of that can be taken away. So I'm just trying to encourage you that the things that you live for, 9 times out of 10, when you get them, your flesh wants more. You desire, okay, just say, for example, you work really hard and you decide you're going to buy this, I don't know, 3,500 square foot house. You purchase the house, and then after about 10 years, you're like, this is nice, but now I want a bigger house, I don't know, in down south because it's cold and I'm tired of shoveling. Every time you give your flesh what it wants, it's going to desire something bigger. So you have to identify what it is that will make you happy and what it is that you're living for. I now recognize that what I want to live for has nothing to do with anything monetarily. What I want to live for is to make people's lives better. What I want to live for is to make people feel valued and accepted and respected and just special. I want when people leave my presence that they feel that they have really just shared a good time with someone who just really loves them unconditionally. No strings attached. I don't want anything from you. Just simply to love on you. That's it. Because what I recognize in this world and in this life, guys, is that there's so much that you can take from life, but when do we begin to give back? And so that's what my husband and I talked about on Sunday. When is it time to give back? And so, Lord willing, I will be 28 in August. And I said 28, y'all. That would be 48. And what I want with however long God gives me, and I hope it is to be 120. I really do, because I really love life. But I want to be able to make other people's life better, happier, more love, more value, stronger, deeper relationships that really matter. Like I don't want to care that, I don't want to care about anything that's not relational. If it's not building relationships, I don't really want to be a part of it. So I say all of that to say, what are you living for? So number one, you have to identify what is the thing that is making you, where is it all going crazy at? Where are you losing it at? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your communication? Is it in your finances? Are your finances so jacked up that you really, cuz 28, I know, right? That was a really long time ago. But what is it in your relationships that that are making you either happy or sad? What is it? You want to be in relationships that are giving you life, that are giving you hope. And I recognize too, as my son is going to be 18 next month, God help me, where did that go? And I recognize all I want to do is make sure that I raise boys that are honorable, that are respectable, that can give back to society, that are in good, healthy relationships, and can be just good men of integrity for the kingdom of Christ. So that is my legacy. They are my legacy. And I hope that, and not to make this be a sad thing, because this is just definitely not, but I'm very reflective because this past 2 weeks have been so hard for me. And it has been, you kind of show up and you smile, but on the inside, you're kind of like not smiling. You really wish you could just kind of put your head on somebody's shoulder and say, I want to get off the ride. It don't feel good. Because it doesn't always feel good, guys. So what I'm saying, guys, is I'm giving you permission. Not that you need my permission, but I have a feeling that somebody out there is feeling exactly how I was feeling. You're sad, you're depressed, you don't know which way. And it's not, may not even be like a deep depression where you don't want to, you're kind of getting up for work and you're just kind of going through the motions. You're no longer enjoying life. You're no longer understanding what it is that you're purposed here to do. Been there. And I tell you, y'all, I'm all over the place. I got so many things going on. I mean, your kids are shifting. They don't need you as much. Your relationship and your marriage is changing. You like them sometimes. But some of the things that he does really just gets on your nerves. Like, why is he eating so loud? Why is he snoring so loud? Why is he driving like this? Why is he, I don't know. Why is he whatever? Am I by myself? Please tell me I'm not by myself. I can't possibly be by myself in this. And for those of you who are not in relationships but desire to be in relationships, what is happening that you don't want to allow yourself to fall in love again? What's happening? What's happening in your heart that you don't trust the love process anymore? For those of you who are, because I know you have great things to give because I know you personally, or even if I don't know you personally, just as a person, everybody has something great to give. Everybody. I don't care who you are. There's greatness within you. There's even the Grinch had a little bit of greatness in him, a little bit. And I know no one on here is as mean as the Grinch. So what are you living for? So number one, you have to identify what it is that's setting you back, holding you back. What is it that is making you your absolute worst? Okay. Hey, Suzette. What's up, cuz? Number two, then you have to come up with a plan. You have to plan out what it is you will do, and only you, because it only can be synonymous to you. My plan is not going to work for your life. The way I raise my kids is not going to work for the way you raise your kids, because they're different kids. They've been brought up in different environments. So sis, what I'm telling you is bloom where you're planted. Take whatever you have right now in your hands and make it work for you. Okay? Take whatever, even the lemons, even in my relationship when our marriage was struggling, it was hard as anything just to say hello to my husband sometimes, because I was so disappointed at the things that he did or did not do. And y'all know the list changed every whatever mood I was in. If I was happy, if something happened, great. If I was sad, then he got to respond to me a certain way, or I'm crying and he ain't hand me a tissue, or I'm laughing and he ain't laughing. It crazy, okay? Borderline bipolar, all right? But your hormones and your emotions, because you're growing. We're growing and we're trying to make sense of it all. And I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. You're not alone. And I went through it, and I know there's other people who have gone through it and are going through it. And especially at the age that we're at, and our kids are growing and they're experiencing things that we hope that they wouldn't have to experience, but it's life. Like, we can't shield them from we did all that we could for our older kids. When my son is turning 18 next month, he's signed, and he's going to NJIT. Yay. He's going to go for chemical engineering. So y'all, it's just, when did all of this happen? So sometimes you just got to breathe and know that you have done the best that you can, and that sometimes that's all you have. The best is all you have. No one tells you, these kids don't come with a manual. The Bible tells you how to raise kids, but society is ever changing, but ever remaining the same. Bigger kids, bigger problems. The circle of life is going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen. They're going to grow. They're going to have kids. They're going to marry and move out. And guess who you're going to be left with? Your spouse. yourself. You're always going to have to be with you. You never get away from you. And yes, thank you, Neosha. You just have to sometimes just woosah. You just have to say, I'm doing the best I can. Release yourself from trying to be, Superwoman. Superwoman is a fictional character. She does not exist. Because real people have real hearts, and we really need rest, and we really need validation, and we really need really good, genuine relationships of people who, thank you, people who love on us no matter what. And if you don't have those good core relationships, which I dare say most of us don't anymore, most of us don't have people that we genuinely trust enough to give our hearts to. And if you have 2 or 3 people in your circle that you can absolutely be 100% transparent with, I'm talking about butt naked in the streets, like for real, this is what I'm struggling with, this is how I'm feeling. I mean, pray about asking God to send you somebody, because this life is harsh and we all need somebody. So my prayer is that we forge relationships with people, and that we value the relationships that we're in, and that we love on the people that are close to us, and that we allow our kids to make mistakes and grow from them, and love them enough to release them and equip them for what this life is going to give to them. You have given them all that you can give, and if you've given them your heart, that is more than enough. That is enough to let them know home is always a safe place for you to be. And I'm talking to myself, y'all, because can you tell where I'm at? Like, I have to begin to cut the string. I have spent so many years holding them so close. And I still got one more here, but he ain't really too interested in me half the time. He do his own thing. But so the third thing is, after you have identified what the issues are and what the problem is, and you've embraced them, you set up a plan. And now, number 3, you have to execute it. And execution looks very different for everybody. Execution is what are you going to do to make sure this plan works? So for me, the example was I found some place for the weight loss that was going to help me to keep the weight off, and to do it healthy, and to do it, so that I feel better, I look better. I was a 4-time Weight Watcher flunky. I don't want to say flunky, but it didn't work for me. It probably did if I worked it, but I couldn't keep up with the points. But anyway, so execute it. Know that there will be mistakes. I have had setbacks. I've had slip-ups, but I didn't stay down. You will have setbacks. You will have slip-ups, but don't stay down. Get back up again. Now, today, tomorrow's coming. Get back up. Make a choice. Make a decision that tomorrow is going to be your best day ever. Tomorrow is going to be the first day of the rest of your new life, right? Tomorrow is going to be, you're going to identify what you're living for. Take a few minutes, just really begin to meditate on things that matter to you, whether it be growing your business, whether it be growing your family, whether it be growing your relationships, trying to find core relationships that are going to make you feel phenomenal, and pull out not only your good stuff, but good relationships deal with you in the hard stuff. Good relationships, like right now, me and my husband can for real have a honest, hard conversation and still love each other. That was not always the case, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, my husband is brutally honest, and I often took that as being mean. But how about now? I recognize that's just who he is, and he's not being mean. Sometimes his delivery was not the nicest, but I know now he doesn't do it to be mean. It's just who he is. Just like I'm a touchy-feely. My love language is I like to touch, feel, hug. That's my love language. Well, his ain't that. You have to know your own setbacks, hangups, and dilemmas. And I dare to say most of us don't know it anymore because we've lost sight of it. So I'm just encouraging you tonight that you identify what it is that you're living for. Look at the hard situations in your life, fix them. Plan, set up a plan on how you're going to fix them, and then execute it. And know in the execution there will be setbacks, there will be mishaps, but in the end you are going to be 100% a better person. And so will the relationships around you, and so will the people around you. So I hope this was helpful. I am so grateful to be able to just have a platform to be able to talk to women. Y'all know that this is my absolute love. Like, I just love how women are just strong but vulnerable. We are beautiful and intelligent and wise, and we come in so many shapes and sizes and skin colors and looks and backgrounds. And guess what? We are all uniquely valuable and important, and just we're just jewels. We are absolutely just diamonds in the rough. And none of us look the same, and none of us sound the same. And I'm so glad, because listen, I can love on Neosha because I can. I've known her 30 years. And let me tell you something. Some things have changed about her, but some things have not. And the good thing I know about that is that no matter what, I know what I'm going to get when I run into her. She's going to speak to me. She's going to love on me. She's going to say hello. She's going to be genuine. I'm not going to get a two-faced person. I just know some things about Neosha. She's going to give me her heart, but she's going to give it to me raw. That's the only way she get down. But I love that about her. You know, I have a good friend, Ramona. Ramona, another one. She going to coddle me a little bit, but in the long run, she's going to tell me some hard stuff, okay? And she's going to say, sis, you're doing it wrong. No, that ain't right. It ain't right. You're wrong. I need that. I need that in my life. But I also love you back, sis. I need that in my life, and I hope, and my prayer is that every woman on here, anyone who is listening, will have that genuine relationship. And guess what? The other thing is, I have been blessed with 3 amazing, phenomenal sisters. And they haven't always been my best friend, because you know why? I didn't know any better. But as I'm older, I recognize that I have been blessed with the absolute best sisters in the entire universe. They are my ride or dies. They teach me how to be humble. They remind me when I'm off. They love me enough that, you know what, no matter what, even if I'm wrong, they got my back. They might not tell nobody else I'm wrong, but they're going to tell me, and they're going to say, you need to fix that. And they love me enough to be honest with me, and they love me unconditional. And so with that, I say to my 3 sisters, I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all. And if y'all have sisters, you always, always, always have a best friend. If your relationship with your sister is broken, fix it. It don't get no better than this, okay? Fix it. Squash whatever beef you have with her. I don't care, you wrong, she wrong. Fix it. Fix it. I don't know who I'm talking to, but fix it. Y'all need to stop. All right, it's time. It's high time. It's over. Y'all been mad too long. It is time to fix it. So I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to be able to mend some wrongs and make them right. And you know, I mess up a lot. And I apologize often. Because if nothing else, I hope you see my heart. And my heart is to show love to every woman that we meet. Every woman that we meet is the absolute goal. So I have been over my time by a lot, but I thank you so very much. If you have not already, please share this video. For those women who are out there who are struggling in your relationships, in your marriage relationships, you know I am the founder and the CEO of Happy Sex Now. So the goal of Happy Sex Now is to teach women the art of having amazing sex. And I know that may sound crazy to some people, that people just think, oh, there is no art to it. It is. And if you have baggage that you're carrying in with your relationship, if you have unresolved issues, you're not having amazing sex. You know how I know? Because there's no way you can give yourself 100% freely to someone that you don't trust. You can't. And therefore, you're not having amazing sex. Amazing sex means that you can love somebody unconditionally, that you can lay butt naked with the lights on, being who you are, rolls and all, and still engage in in a sexual encounter with the man that you said till death do you part with, and be okay with it. Now, if that is not you and you're not at that place, inbox me. We need to talk. Go on to my website, happysexnow.com, and sign up for your personal free discovery call so I can teach you some and show you some things. Like, don't go through this alone. I went through this alone because in the Christian church, when I was growing up, nobody talking about sex. Heck, ain't nobody talking about sex now. Why? I don't know. Because if you ain't talking about it in church, where are you talking about it? So that's a whole ministry in itself, y'all. But I'm here, Jesus, and I'm ready to talk to y'all about what it means to be in healthy, happy, sex-filled relationships. But my time is up, guys. Keep up where you go. Oh, thank you so very much, guys. I so appreciate you. My heart is overjoyed with so many emotions right now. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm nervous, I'm excited, because guess what? God is a God of multiplication. And I just know he is going to multiply. What the enemy meant for evil, God is going to turn into good. And I can't wait to see the journey unfold. And I hope you guys remain on this journey with me as we continue to always get a kiss goodnight, that we continue to always talk real. Inbox me your questions, guys. There's no question too hard. I'll do my very best. And if I don't know, you know, I'm going to research it and find out for you, right? But don't go through this life alone, ladies. There's too many of us out here who are struggling with all of these masks on, trying to perpetrate to be who we're not. We all struggling, y'all. That's the bottom line. We are all feeling less than. We all have felt less than. We all have felt overwhelmed by life. We all have felt confused and sad and ugly and disappointed and embarrassed by choices that we made. We have all been there as women, okay? I'm just here to put that out there. We have all been there. Forgive yourself. Let it go. Move on. Get yourself a plan. Cry, snot, whatever you got to do. Get it together. But you coming out of this, okay? And you coming out as pure gold. I promise. But I am here to help you, all right, ladies? Also, you can also still order your the Ultimate Bedroom Date Planning Guide. It's a step-by-step planning guide on what you need to do in order to have the ultimate in-home bedroom date. And I will put the link back up in there for you guys. But thank you so very much. I am Jacqueline Andrade, your marriage, sex, and relationship guru. And y'all know what? I have the awesome privilege and opportunity to be able to teach women how to have amazing what? Sex every time. Thank you. Please like and share this video. And until we meet again, I am going to be on Wednesday evenings only because it's getting too crazy to try to do it all Mondays and Wednesdays. So it's going to be Wednesday evenings. Always kiss me goodnight, 9 o'clock. Come back, inbox me your questions. We will talk candidly. I think next week, if the Lord says so, we're going to talk about why the church ain't talking about sex. Why the church ain't talking about sex, y'all? I think the church need to be talking about sex. Thank you guys so very much. Love you from my heart, and I wish you the best. Until we meet again next Wednesday, 9 o'clock, I am Jacqueline Andrade. And remember to always get a kiss goodnight. Guess what? Even if you have to kiss yourself. Bye. Thanks for watching.